a CV, always have your friend proofread it for you, because then they are able to see things that you did not see. How many times have you written something and then you thought it was perfect, only to come at it later and see very interesting mistakes? So to avoid that, because again, jobs, it's all about deadlines. What you do is always have a friend. Of course, there are softwares like Grammarly and all that, but they are very a little bit limited in terms of there's a premium account and all that. Have a friend, have a person who can be able to proofread and spell check your CV or your resume before you send it, and then update your resume regularly. Remember and listen to me. This is a living document. You don't want to. Now listen to me, please. If you don't update your resume regularly, here's what will happen. You are on the move. You decided to go up country, and then when you're up country, you didn't carry your laptop. Maybe you just have your phone, and then your friend sends you a job, or you see a job advert, and you're like, my goodness, this is something that I can be able to apply, and maybe the deadline is tomorrow. You are in up country. You start wondering what you can do, as opposed to when you have an achievement. What you do is make time. Once you have been awarded, add it. Once you've had a success, add it, so that the day you will see an advert or a job, immediately you know that your CV is 90% complete. So now what you will just do is now look at the job description, what that they're requiring, add that to your CV and send it. If you wait for 1 year or 2 years, you will even forget some of the things that you achieved that might have given you an edge in the CV. So again, it's a living document. Update it as you go along. I will not belabor on that. Moving forward, we've got to finish this. Some of the don'ts, Fadali, do not use capital letters. I use that very intentionally. Avoid capital letters. You're not shouting. You're not shouting at me. Why are you shouting at me? Why are you shouting at me? JB. Use sentence case, avoid white spaces. Now, white spaces are, it's important that you've been in the university. Again, this conversation is a little bit late, but all in all, it is good. White spaces are, you're in the university. I hope you're not the kind of student who you went to university and all that you've been doing is just studying economics. I hope you've been doing some curricular activities. I hope you've been doing some volunteer work, because if I get your CV, and I see that in first year you were volunteered somewhere, and then second year nothing, third year nothing, fourth year nothing. Those are what we call white spaces in the job market. First you got a job after you graduated, and then 2 years there was nothing, and then you got something, and so always try, and this is good advice for you even as you go to the marketplace, or even if you do not have a job. Always find a place to volunteer. Always find something. There is so much problems out here that you cannot tell me that you just can afford to sit down. Always find something to do, because that will come in handy to you in your CV. I hope that helps somebody. Avoid including a picture yourself, and if you have to, please get a professional picture. It's not a fashion show. We don't get a professional picture. And not a full picture, please. Almost from your chest. So William Nanyona Saizi, but I'm not talking about this picture. Okay, I have a professional picture that I use for my engagements. So get a professional. In fact, invest. That's one of the things I want you to do. Go and invest in a professional picture, and let that be your status in your WhatsApp, in your everywhere. Let that, because now you're moving into the workspace. Things are serious here. You need to be a serious person. And then use the same font throughout. I've talked about that. Don't focus on your need. Remember, focus on the needs of the employer. We will not have that. Now, I need to just mention this, whatever I have underlined, look at that, right? When you're using bullet points, they need to be uniform. I don't want you to use, on this, you're using this type, on this, they are smaller, on this one. No, please. Uniformity. I want to look at an effective cover letter. My time is up. I want to know from the leadership, can I be added for 10 minutes? I don't know if this is democracy. Can I just have the next 7 minutes? I just look at...
You can.
Am I helping anybody, by the way? Thumbs up. If you want us to finish, just tap on the chat here. Tumaliza sasa. All right, good. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm happy. I'm happy that we are getting to learn something. This is important because again, you can write a very good CV, but if you don't have a good cover letter, it does not help your course. JB Oshira, good stuff. Thank you. We appreciate it. So, what makes for an effective cover letter? Thank you, Kevin. I see you. This is what I want you to understand. Basically, this is the format. Look at that. Now, I want to address something on the templates. Mostly nowadays we normally use block. So, and I know most of you understand what block is. So your addressee or your name and your whatever is also on the left hand side. So it's in block format as opposed to one being on the side. That's the most commonly used today. So after that, you go to dear, and then you write there honorific title. Now, if you know these people, you see, this is a lesson I learned from the dean of my school. I once referred to him as Mr. So-and-so. And he called me aside and he told me, Moses, you know, for me to become a doctor, it took years. You know, it did not just happen. Okay? So I really appreciate, and it's something you appreciate in the marketplace. But when people put effort into something, it needs to be recognized. So if they are a doctor, please put that doctor there. It was not by accident. They have earned it. So that when you earn it, we will also use doctor on your, and then use the surname. And then after that, you write the reference and then the job position plus the reference. If the job description had a reference number, please add that. I hope somebody's listening to me. Job description on the job position, if it had a reference number, you know, in, what do you call this? And then you put the reference there. I only need to see 4 paragraphs. I don't need 2 pages. Cover letter, 1 page. If it goes beyond 1 page, you're losing it. You're getting it wrong. 1 page is enough. Introductory paragraph. Second thing, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, and paragraph 4. I'm going to show you an example of a cover page, and we're going to be looking at it. And then the closing statement. After that, the closing greetings, sincerely and faithfully. By the way, I have a question for you guys. Type this in the chat. When do you use sincerely and when do you use yours faithfully? When do you use sincerely and when do you use yours faithfully? As a question for you, please, let's engage on the chat. And then I will be giving you the answer, and then you finish or sign off with your name. Remember to have a signature. I know most of you should know by now how to do e-signatures. Right? Have a signature, upload it, remove the background, and then that becomes your e-signature in all your documents. If you do not know that, please get a friend or learn it. It's important. So this is an example of a cover letter. Just want to, in the interest of time, we're not going to read it, right? But there is an opening statement. I recently had a chat with Mr. Blah, 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 blah. So you're giving a background of where you saw the advertisement and, stuff like that. And then you give the second paragraph. I finished the first paragraph. So that's the introductory paragraph. The second paragraph, you're telling them who you are.
Moses, sorry, Moses, I think you've not moved to that slide. We're still at the first one.
Okay, thank you for that. Let me just... Yeah, when do you use sincerely and when do you use faithfully? That is a question that I have for you. When do you use sincerely and when do you use faithfully? I'm just uploading this again. When do you use sincerely and when do you use faithfully? Nice. Well, let me upload it. Right here, John, you can, I'm trying to get my slider. So John, when do you use faithfully and use sincerely? We can have a discussion on that as I just do this for a minute.
Yes. Yes.
Kenya window is saying yours sincerely is used when you don't have a personal relationship with the employer or the one you're engaging. Yours faithfully is used when you know the person you're writing to. Abdiraham Osman. Yours sincerely when you already know the recipient of the letter. Yours faithfully when you don't know the recipient. Milton Ofula is saying, okay. The baby is saying yours sincerely. Dear Dr. Kirimi, as an example, yours faithfully is dear sir or madam.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your indulgence, and I can see that you're paying attention. We will be seeing how to go about that, but by and large, I think most of you are getting it right. So just give me an example of a cover letter. Let me see. Yeah, so cover letter. So in the first paragraph, I've said don't go beyond 4 paragraphs. Do not go beyond 4 paragraphs, and it must be 1 page. 1 page is enough. First paragraph, talk about where you saw the advert and just a brief introduction about yourself. Second paragraph, talk about your achievements, your objectives. You can relate that to the solution that you're providing. Okay. So second paragraph is where you're coming from. The third paragraph, but the third paragraph can be the solution that you want to provide. Now that's very powerful. If you follow what I'm telling you, it will make sense. The solution you're going to you're not asking for a job. We don't want to give a job. In fact, my friend, listen to me. We want to save. This is money we are going to pay you. So kama ingewezekana, Joseph, we don't want to give up this job, but we are forced to. So tell me, so I'm going to get over 1,000. Please tell me what solution you're going to provide. And then in the last one, in the last paragraph, this is where now you request and say, okay, if I have met your criteria, please, I look forward, kindly review and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be looking at the closing because that's very powerful. I'm going there. But before that, I want to look at email writing. I'm going to do this very fast. And I do this, we are doing this as a bonus because there is a problem here. There is a problem. Most of you know how to, but there is a problem. When you're writing an email, cover letter, don't copy paste. An email should be more brief or briefer than the cover letter. So name of the employer, the job title, company name, company address, opening. So it takes the format of the letter. Note where the date is, the date in full, and then you have the subject line, and then you come to the introductory paragraph. For emails, I normally say don't have beyond 3 paragraphs. Please, if you can. Don't have beyond 3 paragraphs, and then the closing greetings, yours faithfully, yours sincerely. We're going to be coming to that. So here's an example. I am responding to your job description of a cover letter, email cover letter. Okay, this is not your cover letter. It's on email. You have the cover letter. You have attached it. Dear Mr. Baker, I'm responding to your job vacancy position on your company website for blah blah blah. Please find attached my cover letter and CV for your consideration. Thank you for taking. How many of those? 3. Brief and to the point. I want to look at, I want to finish now. We need to, I've talked about the date. Please note where you put the date. This is an introductory paragraph example. Closing statement. When you're writing your closing statement and I'm finishing, listen to me, please. Don't be wishy-washy. We are not giving this job because we like you. We are giving you this job. We want to give you this job because you are the best person suited for this job. Be as professional as possible. We know you have problems or we don't know you have problems. I mean, the employer really does not care. Okay? Be as professional as possible. Please find attached my curriculum vitae with this letter, and I would be grateful if you could review it. You could say that kindly review it, and should you find me a fit, a strong candidate for this role, I would appreciate an interview at your time and convenience. I have just rephrased this, but this is the closing statement. Thank you for your time and consideration. And then we go to the last one here, closing statement, yours sincerely. And you're right, use sincerely when you know the person, and then use faithfully when you do not know the person that you are addressing. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, my apologies, I've taken a little bit of your time, but I hope that this session has been a crash session, but I hope that you have learned something, and beyond this, you are going to implement what you have learned. If there are any questions, Moses, if there's any question at the bottom, if there were any questions, you can just bring them up, and then you can now guide us. Do we go for break now? I mean, over to you. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Wonderful. That was just amazing. I mean, somebody has side-chatted me, telling me from today henceforth they won't use butilis@gmail.com. I am very glad. Very insightful session. I mean, guys, you can see what we've been missing. And I believe from today henceforth, before we even take the Q&As, from today henceforth, the funny CVs that we have, let me term them as funny because we've seen how serious CVs are. We will, at this point in time, not have them anymore as we will learn. So just a reminder, you are requested to do your name, your university, your phone number, and email for those who are in this session. So that we get in touch with you, because we now want to separate the wheat from the chaff. Even if we want to share the rights, we won't share them to everyone. Now, Moses is also reminding me on the chat box that however much your hobby is preaching, please do not say you love preaching. Very serious. So I think we're going to take 1, 2, 3 questions. I'm seeing hands up, and I don't know where to start with.
Moses, I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, because I know mostly on the topic we might have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
My thinking is we can just have a very short break. I come and talk about internship. It's a very brief presentation because it was not part of what you'd requested.
Yeah.
And then we can give enough room for questions so that we exhaust all these questions, because I know if we do 2, 3, we might not do justice to it. So that is my kind request, if that's okay.
Absolutely, Jeffrey. That's in order. So gentlemen, just note your questions somewhere, and gentlemen and ladies, just note it somewhere. Don't let it sink. Just note it somewhere. We are going to have a 3 to 5 minutes break. So don't leave anywhere. Just take a water break, or if you haven't had tea, just have tea, as you think of how you want to correct your hobby from swimming or fishing to something more intelligent. So let's meet after 3 minutes. That is 11:06, and we will be able to meet from there. Please don't go away. Just take a short water break. Thank you.
That's true. You don't want to miss the next session. This is very important. So please, as you know, John has said, please stay tuned. We will be answering your questions at the very tail end.